Hello my lovelies and welcome to my channel Feathers from Heaven Tarot. So today we're doing a pick a card about your future spouse. So we're going to have a look at who will be your future spouse, who are they, maybe have a look at their personality, maybe what they do as work or what they are kind of doing at the moment. So it's just looking at into the type of person your future spouse is going to be. Okay, so there's two piles for you to pick from, pile number 1 and pile number 2. Take a moment to pick whichever card resonates with you or picture, and I'll see you at your reading. Right then, pile number 1, for those of you who picked this lovely sticker picture, let's have a look at who your future spouse is going to be. So what I want to do first quickly is just do a quick energy check, just to see if you feel this pile resonates with you, and just to make sure that you pick the right pile. So just gonna do a quick energy check. What's going on? So pile number 1, it looks like you're currently working on something very hard. So you are grafting. I can see my pile number 1 at the moment. So it could be that you're grafting at work, or it could be that you are working very hard in your career in order to try and work towards a promotion or towards being recognized for a new role. So it's something that you're working towards, my pile number 1. I can see that. And for some of you, it could be like a creative endeavor that you're working on, or something that's like a bit of a side hustle where it's kind of fueled with passion, and you are working hard, but I feel like you are quite experienced or knowledgeable in that particular area that you are working in. And if you are studying, it could be that you're very knowledgeable in the content or the information or the topic that you are studying. Okay, so you are working towards something at the moment. You're working hard, and for some of you it's kind of a bit of a manifestation. So you're trying to bring something into your life through working on it. So it could be a promotion, as I said, or just studying for a particular job to achieve something at the end, or be qualified, for example, for a particular profession. For others, it could just be you are working on your creative endeavors, hoping it will bring you money, and working towards it bringing you kind of financial abundance as well. So that's a quick energy check for you, my pile number 1. Hopefully that resonates with you, and if it does, then let's have a look at your future spouse and who they are. So we'll just have a look at whatever comes up for you. So pile number 1's future spouse, let's have a look. Who is pile number 1's future spouse? I'll tell you what, I'm going to start with oracles. Pile number 1, who is their future spouse? Oopsie, it's a lot there. Right, so we've got Scorpio, 6th house, oops, let's see, which one shall we take? It's quite a lot, so let's just take the first 4 that's come out. Right, so pile number 1, your future spouse, let's have a look, is currently, I would say, going through or has just gone through some sort of awakening or a renewal. So like with the tarot, that probably be a bit of judgment, the judgment energy coming through. But in terms of intensity, exposing, purging, so your future spouse has just gone over or got over a change. So it's like shedding the old and kind of walking into the new, with the North Node destined to have. So they are currently someone that is working or towards their North Node in terms of what they're destined to have. So for example, it could be that you know, they are someone that's quite practical, so they will maybe be working towards a job that has a lot of technical abilities that's required. So with the 6th house, we've got establishing a foundation, health, daily life, practical details. And then we've got the 4th house, which is culture, family roots, home, peace and comfort. So your future spouse is heavily focused at the moment on establishing roots for themselves. They are someone that at the moment is taking life seriously. So if they were a bit of a playboy before, or a bit of someone that wasn't taking life too seriously because they just felt they were quite young and then perhaps didn't need to save, that is something that they are walking away from, and it's kind of falling out of that habit, and they are now basically focusing on their health, building a structure, building a stable life. So out with the old, in with the new kind of energy is what I'm getting from your future spouse, pile number 1. So at the moment they are establishing I would say good roots for themselves. So they are changing their diet, looking at the way they're eating in order to focus on like healthy living, maybe embedding exercise within their daily or weekly activities, and they're looking at the practical details of their habits in life. So looking at what they're actually doing at the moment, and how it's serving them, and if it's not serving them well, then they're letting it go, and they are basically putting in new habits and plans. And especially being the new year, I feel like your future spouse is very focused on the new year and kind of new activities, the new them, a new version of themselves. So not only are they looking at obviously health and structure and kind of those kind of details, they're looking at their future. So they are someone that would like to sort of have a family or build family roots. So whether it's to have children or just to have a very sort of caring, nurturing relationship where they are fostering peace and harmony for kind of the future longevity of their life. So they are kind of being I feel pushed by their North Node. So there is kind of a bit of destiny involved in that. So that is what's driving them. It's their North Node that's driving them at the moment. So especially if they've got some sort of calling, I do feel like they are actually listening to it in terms of what it is that it sits right with them. So just say, for example, they were working in a job that they didn't really like before, which was more of a sort of, let's just say they were a contractor and they were on site all day, and you know, they were getting ill because of the you know, they're out all day in the cold, and also maybe their colleagues were not very supportive, and so they weren't enjoying it, for example. So they've now decided obviously to renew, to go towards what is actually their calling. So it could be that they really like architecture, and they really wanted to be an architect, and they kind of did that at uni but not really followed it through. So they might be going back to that, for example, and they're going back to what actually you know, made them happy and made them had ignited a fire within them. So that's what I mean in terms of following what they're destined to have and purging the old self. Family roots, as I said, is very important. So maybe they're looking to move to an area which they feel very comfortable with. Maybe for some of you, it could be that they're looking to buy a house in order to start paying off the mortgage, to be comfortable at a later time in their life and age where they're not going to be permanently, you know, renting or paying a mortgage when they're very, very old. So they're very forward thinking, looking at the future, looking to build roots. Very serious with future spouse, pile number 1. Very family orientated, but more importantly, they like peace and harmony in their life. They want comfort in their life. So they're not someone that's going to want drama or want anything to affect their peace. Let's see what else we get for pile number 1's future spouse. So we've got optimism. We have the loving man, we have honoring path, and finally we have back and forth. So I do feel with the back and forth, where they were going back and forth, shall I leave my job, shall I not, shall I go back to what I really liked, it's stopping. They are now focused and on the future. So they're honoring their path, they're honoring their calling, they're honoring what's calling to them, what they are actually feeling that's, you know, sitting right with them. They're in a place at the moment where they're very optimistic about the future and the decisions that they've decided to make. So your future spouse is someone at the moment that I would say is very optimistic about the decisions they're making and the changes that they are implementing in their life in order to create more of a harmony, balanced life and investing in the future. Now your person is very caring and loving. I do feel that they are going to be very romantic and that they're going to be like outwardly romantic. So not even a little bit of, with some people it's like their love language is different, and it might be act of service, for example, or it might just be one area like words of affirmation. But with your future spouse, there might be they might have a few of a few love languages, but it's going to be obvious that they will literally be traditional in terms of their romance. So they might buy you flowers one day when they come home from work, or if you're having a bad day, or they'll probably like be someone that on Valentine's Day will actually go out and book a table and do the romantic flowers on the petal, book a hotel room kind of thing. They are very romantic and very caring and loving, and obviously you can see that with the fact that they do have family roots, home, peace and comfort. They're very embedded within their sort of creature comforts, building a foundation. Also with honoring their path, I do feel like they are now in a place where they are kind of working on where they're meant to be. So whether they was doing something, sometimes we go off course in life's journey and we end up doing a job just for the sake of the money, or doing something just to pay the bills, but really that's not our it doesn't sing to our heart or soul, and we just wish that we could be doing, for example, if we had a side hustle, be doing that side hustle all day long, not going to that 9-to-5 job. But they are now honoring that path. So if it was a particular career that was calling to them, or if they needed to finish some sort of education, then they're going to be doing that at the moment. So they're honoring whatever their calling is. No more back and forth with your future spouse, and no more thinking, shall I not? Okay. With some of you, I do feel like you might meet your future spouse soon. I don't know why I feel that, but let's have a look in terms of your tarot, future spouse. So yeah, 5 of Pentacles. So they're moving away from something that did no longer serve them, which something that was not bringing them happiness, joy. Let's see, future spouse for pile number 1. Perfect. So they are someone at the moment which they are in the beginning stages of whatever this change is that they're making. It's actually happening at the moment for your future spouse, pile number 1. So it's not like they have an established business or career at the moment. They are in the initial stages of making that change and moving towards their life calling, so to speak. Now this will bring in more money for them. They have got their creative juices flowing, sparked. It's been sparked, and also they are grounding some like new ways of making money as well. So they're getting new ideas through inspiration, but also new ideas of, you know, how to make money and to build for the future. So with the Empress there, I feel like obviously that your future spouse is someone that's very creative, caring, nurturing. They do have a lot of creative ideas that's calling them at the moment, and they will be obviously acting upon them. But I do feel like they are very whether they're masculine or feminine, in terms of the energy, I do feel like they embody that that trait, whichever your future spouse is. As I said, they are someone that's very caring, and they will bring a lot to the table in terms of abundance of love, abundance of ideas, and then their career or their side hustle, wherever they're making the money, will also bring in a lot. I can see they are someone that is perhaps I would say quite young at heart, and they are someone, as I said, that's in the beginning stages of whatever that change is that they're making. So those ideas coming to them, and they're in their head a lot in terms of thinking what they can do, and I feel like there's quite a few ideas coming to them at the moment. So it could be that they act on a few of them, and they might have their finger in a few pies in terms of that, but it's because it's kind of they're bringing in money, and also their creativity and their passion has been ignited. That's what I see. What else? So I can get some clarification. So, oh, we've got to cover that up. So with the Devil there, I do feel like they are someone that's kind of that's been manifesting a change in their life, and it's come about. Also, there's been people around them that I would say that hasn't been too very supportive, and they've had to make decisions perhaps to maybe ignore them, cut them out. And also I feel like your future spouse has really been tied to old ideas before, and old ways of thinking that was holding them back in order to be able to act on their creative ideas or bring money in for themselves. And I feel like that's all behind them now, and they weren't making the best choices. The choices that they were making before was basically from a fear-based just a fear-based thinking. Okay, maybe like if I don't do this, I'm stuck in this job, I need to be doing this because that's bringing in the money, sort of thinking. But no, they're moving away from that. They now have the tools that they need in order to create the life that they want, and they've started that path and they're honoring it. So that's perfect. That's what I see in terms of your future spouse, and who they are and where they're at the moment. Pile number 1. Let's get a few personality and looks, whatever comes out for my pile number 1. So let's have a look at their personality. Maybe we've seen their personality, they're very kind, but let's see their looks. So okay, so this is their hair. They might have an undercut in terms of their hair, and have like a textured top. So they've got a head full of hair, but it's kind of got an undercut for some of you with kind of a textured top, or some of you, they might have a bit of a quiff going on. Let's see what else. They could be an air sign. They like to work out, yeah, that's what we saw. So they've basically got a bit of a routine going on at the moment, where they've implemented what do you call it, work out. They are a homebody, so obviously we saw that with the 4th house there, where they like to be peaceful. Their kind of home is their sanctuary, so they like to stay home. They like to be a bit of a homebody, but once you get to know them, they're a bit of a joker. They like to crack jokes. Especially with their loved ones or the person they feel safe with. You're going to see a side to them that no one else kind of sees, only like their really close friends or maybe their family. And finally, they will like to go outdoors just to rebalance themselves for some of you. So maybe taking a walk out in nature, or maybe doing a little bit of holidaying. And then finally, let's see, we've got average height, okay? And at the bottom of the pile was clean shaven. So for some of you, your person might be clean shaven. So that's just a few bits in terms of their personality and looks. And then what we're going to do now, pile number 1, is just have a look at some letters, see if you've got any initials or anything you can make out. So we'll tidy all of this up in a bit. Let's move it out. Let's shot the camera. There we go. Perfect. And then let's get some letters for you. Oh, number 1. So we've got a H, D. Now this could be initials, their name, could be where they live. So we got L, R, P, A, I, T, Z. Got a few more. T, G, and E. So have a look. I'm really bad at making words, but we've got pats there, so they could make a pat with you in terms of things to do together. They could. They're very clear, I would say, in their communication. No messing about. So when you get to know them, I do feel like it's going to be clear that they're pursuing you, they like you, and their intentions. They're not going to be someone that's going to be messing about, or like where you're guessing anything right from the get-go. You will feel like this person is very helpful. I spell help. Help, there we go. So they would like to help. They dislike liars, I would say. They don't like liars. They like people to be straightforward. What else do we get here? At the moment we've got, yeah, that's about it. They might have a cat for some of you, or they love cats. So if you have a cat, they will love your cat. Okay, my lovelies. Obviously, if there's any more that you can see, that means that message will be for you if you're able to see any additional words. But that's what I see for you in terms of your future spouse and who they are. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. More importantly, I will be posting additional future spouse. I've been really terrible in the last couple of years. I've kind of not been posting, but I would like to get back into being consistent. So I do hope you have a beautiful day, and I hope to see you soon. Hello, my lovely pile number 2, and welcome to your reading. So let's have a look at your future spouse and who they are. So we're going to look at some oracle cards first. So let's have a look in terms of who they are. Let's just shuffle. So we're just going to look at maybe where they are now. Oh, actually, sorry, I forgot. I did a quick energy check with pile number 1, and I want to do the same with you. Just so you know that this is your pile and you've picked correctly. So I'm just going to do a quick energy check with where you are at the moment. So pile number 2. Beautiful pile number 2. We've got 7 of Wands. Ooh la la. Okay, so pile number 2, I feel like you're going through a bit of a hard time at the moment. You've had some of you a bit of disappointment, heartbreak, or for others it could just be that you're working really hard. So I feel like a couple of things. So with some of you it could be within your education or within the demands that are being made from you. So it could be that there's a lot of competition if some of you are studying at the moment in your chosen area, and you are putting a lot of work and effort into what you're doing, maybe staying up late. For some of you it could be that maybe some results have come through that you haven't really been expecting, or it was a bit of a disappointment. But I do feel like there is a bit of structure and order coming in for you, so don't worry, my pile number 2. There is a little bit there is a light at the end of the tunnel for you, but I feel like there's probably been a little bit of I would say competition or conflict in your life at the moment. And this, as I said, it could be for some of you, a very few of you, it could be a breakup, or you could have been talking to someone that was quite difficult in the sense of you were putting a lot of effort into the relationship, and then you weren't really getting much back, which ended up being disappointing. For others it could literally be like a heartbreak, betrayal. Don't really see that for a lot of you though. It's just very, very few of you. For a lot, I do see more so like the field that you're in at the moment, there's been a lot of competition. You've been working really hard, especially now we're now January, so it's the end of the year. You've had a lot going on for you at the end of the year. With the Hierophant there, as I said, it could be within sort of education, something to do with traditions. Some of you, it could be something that was expected out of you, perhaps by your establishment of religion, if some of you do go to one. Obviously please note that there's quite a few watching, so getting quite a few messages that, or interpretation of what it could be. Okay, I didn't do this for pile number 1, but I do feel like you've been going through a bit of a hard time, my beautiful pile number 2. So let's just quickly check in. 1 card, what can you expect? Okay, so your card is just telling you to continue being strong, my pile number 2. Things will work out for you. You've been putting the work in. Just continue being strong. And maybe for some of you, put in some sort of maybe boundaries, or just put in some sort of, when I say discipline, maybe some different sort of structure within your day that's going to help you to not burn out. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm seeing in terms of the energy for my pile number 2. I'm really sorry, sending you loads of love and light. Pile number 2, let's have a look at your future spouse to cheer you up, what we can see with your future spouse, and what you can expect. Just wanted to bring out one good news for you. If there's anything coming up, there is celebration coming up for you, my pile number 2, at some point. So it's not all doom and gloom. So if you're working hard towards something, there's been a lot of competition in an area, you will get there will be some time for celebration, news, you will be celebrating soon. Right, pile number 2. Let's have a look at your lovely future spouse. Future spouse for pile number 2. What can we see? Oh, we've got Saturn, we've got Capricorn, we've got Mutable, and we have a Virgo. So let's have a look. So with Saturn, it's feel really restricted, experiencing struggle, learn hard work and patience. And then we've got a Capricorn with ambition, realism, methodical steps, surrender, fluidity, and welcoming change. And then finally we've got integrity, reverence, and service. I feel like your pile number 1, your future spouse at the moment, is probably feeling a little bit, is going through a bit of a hard time. Similar, I feel like reflecting perhaps what you're going through, or what you've just gone through at the end of the year. Obviously I'm doing this in January, but it is a timeless card, so whenever you do pick up this reading, it will be applicable for that time. I do feel like your future spouse is feeling restricted at the moment, and they are going through some struggles. Now it could be with work, or it could be that they've put a lot of work and effort in a particular area and they're not seeing the results they want to, and they're having to be really patient. So they're not feeling, but I would say, extremely over the moon at the moment. However, I do feel your future spouse has their head screwed on. They are with Capricorn, they are very grounded. So they are someone that does have ambitions, and they're being realistic. They are someone that looks back at where they currently are, and they are someone that is assessing it in a way to say, right, what steps do I need to put in order to change this circumstance or this situation? They do have a lot of ambition, but they're also very realistic. So they don't have their head in the clouds, you know, thinking something will work which hasn't been working for a year, for example. So they're not putting the same sort of energy. They're changing their actions and what they're doing. So with mutable here, we do have surrender, fluidity and welcoming change. So they are welcoming change that's coming into their life. So they are, having been patient, is you know, going to be a reward for them, is gonna come in with some changes that they will then take action on in order to build something better for themselves. They are someone that is, I would say, in more of a service industry, but they do also have a lot of integrity in the work that they do. So that could be broad with the service industry. It could be anything and everything, but whatever it is that they do, it's someone that has a lot of integrity. So they wouldn't do something just for the sake of doing it or just for the money at all. It will just be someone that is, you know, putting a lot of effort and a lot of logic in what they do. That's it. So a logical person. So let's have a look. What else can we get from your future spouse? What they're going for at the moment? Who are they? A little bit about their future spouse. What information can we get? So we've got energy of feeling stuck, but I'm not doing reversal, but for some reason I want to take that in reverse. So they're coming out of the feeling stuck energy. Not doing reversal for the rest. So let's have a look. So we've got discovery, a great gratitude, and then finally outcome. True love. Perfect. Okay, so your person is, as I said, with the service industry. There's someone that they work from their heart. Okay, but let's just go back to the start here. So with the feeling stuck energy, they are coming out of that where they felt restricted and struggling, because, as I said, they've put in steps, logical steps in terms of what they're going to do and clear action in order to move forward. Now with that is bringing in some gratitude. Your person is not someone to be stuck in what's not going right. They're not a poor me sort of person, and they're not a half glass full sort of person. They actually feel gratitude for what they do have at the moment, which has enabled them to move into welcoming change in their life. They are now discovering what it is that they want to do at the moment. So they're looking into you know, what it is that's going to bring them that fulfillment. But more importantly, I feel like with the discovery and the true love being next to it, they are looking for their person. There's someone that's actively looking for the person that they want to be with, or if you know, that they would like to marry. So for some of you, it could be that you might know this person, but it might be that you might not get together until a bit later on, or it could be that you are in each other's energy at the moment. But I feel like you are kind of discovering, or you're going to discover each other with that there. Also, as I said, they are actively looking, and because they kind of want to be settling down at pretty soon. I do feel that for your future spouse, my pile number 2, as I said, they are someone that if you are going to, when you are going to be together, they are going to be full of gratitude that they're with you, gratitude in terms of where they are, if you built a house together, or if you, you know, if you go out for a nice meal, they're just going to be everything that they do, they're going to be grateful for. They're going to be grateful that you're in their life. They are someone that's not going to compromise on right and wrong, so they do have a really great, strong moral compass that does work, and they have full integrity. And so it could be easy, like for someone that doesn't have a moral compass or doesn't have integrity, with the Saturn feeling restricted and experiencing struggle, some people may turn to doing something that's a bit questionable for extra money, for example, or you know, for a quick return or quick results, or lying to get what they want. But your future spouse is definitely not someone like that. That's why they were struggling for so long, and they had to be patient, but then obviously they put in those steps. So with the stuck energy in reversal, they are moving forward, and they are moving towards something that's going to bring them better change and reward. So let's have a look at your tarot. So we've got the Knight of Pentacles. Yes, a bit slow moving with the Knight of Pentacles. So they have, you know, they are out of that energy, but they do have change happening for them, but it's a bit slow moving. 2 of Cups there, which is a bit of a soulmate energy coming up. So they are looking for their soulmate. They're looking for someone to build a life with. Page of Pentacles, it could be that you've met them, or they could be around your energy, or they will find you, or soon you'll be in each other's energy. And I do feel there will be a lot of curiosity that will happen. For some of you, you could meet them online, or if you do meet them in real life, it could be that there will be, when they see you, they're going to be like, oh, who's that gem? You know, and they want to be like, they'll find you like really attractive and really alluring, and they just want to know a little bit more about you. So they might be a bit looking online, see what they can find, looking at your social media, maybe asking people about you. So they will be very inquisitive. What else do we get? Whoops, too many. Okay, so we do have 5 of Wands. You are someone that they feel is they feel like, because they find you very attractive, that they will need to fight for your attention. Pile number 1. Oh, sorry, pile number 2. They do find you to be extremely attractive. They find you to be a rare gem. They can't believe, obviously, the person that you are. They find you to be someone with a 10 of Cups. They like wish come true, that someone they want to build a family with. They're so grateful, but they're scared that someone else will kind of come in and take you away from them, with the 5 of Wands there. So they do feel like there's a lot of competition around you, or there's a lot of people that's fighting for your attention. So just be aware of that. It's very different, this reading, to pile number 1. So where this I'm getting a little bit more about, you know, maybe your meetings soon, or when you'll be meeting, more than their personality and where they are at the moment. So pile number 2, I do feel like you're in a stage at the moment where you've just had enough, and you're a little bit like, oh, you know what's going on. It is a bit slow moving for you at the moment, but there is a lot that's going to happen. I do feel like your future spouse will be in your energy field pretty soon. I can't put a time on it, obviously, because there's quite a lot of you watching this. For a very few, I think 1 or 2 I'm picking up that you potentially be meeting them. You know, they've already kind of walked into your life at the moment, but that's only for a few of you, and they're very inquisitive about you. But you are their 10 of Cups, their dream come true, and they kind of see you as someone that they would like to build a life with. Personality wise, let's see if I can get anything else in terms for your future spouse. A couple more. 6 of Cups there, so they are someone that's very nostalgic. They're like things that remind them perhaps of their maybe childhood, or things that comfort them. I'm taking out a couple more tarot. for pile number 2, because I didn't get too much about their personality. So we've got Ace of Cups, 4 of Wands and 6 of Cups. Yeah, for some of you, you might already know your person. There could be someone that you've met in your childhood that you meet again, or that's someone that you've known already rather than someone totally new. For others, it could be someone that you meet online. 4 of Wands, Ace of Cups, marriage card, fulfillment, new beginning with the Ace of Cups. 10 of Cups, obviously happy ever after, like fulfillment, ultimate goals that you would want to be at in your life. So I do feel like that is very much where your person's focused on at the moment, and once I feel like they lay their eyes on you, it's going to move quickly in terms of them wanting to perhaps get married and maybe kind of build a future with you pretty much straight away. So this reading has taken a turn in the way that I was expecting, but it's a beautiful reading nevertheless. Pile number 2, about your future spouse and more or less where their intention is and what they're wanting from you. At the moment, it is very slow for them movement wise in terms of where they're moving career wise. I feel like it's more so in their love life. They are luckier in their love life, and that's moving in the direction they want. Career wise, they do have a good practical logic in terms of where they are wanting to go, but they're feeling very grateful. As I said, they are someone that's going to be into the kind of more service kind of industry. Right, let's move all of these aside and let's see if we can get some letters. But more importantly, I did this for pile number 1. So let's see if we can find some personality, traits and looks. Maybe how they look. So they're very calm. They like to work out. What else can we get from a future spouse? They can be spontaneous. So if they see something they like, they will go for it. They're not going to be shy, sit on the fence. They will go for it. So they're not, stuck in their ways, so to speak. They're very thoughtful and easygoing, which is lovely. So you won't struggle when you meet them. They do have swag, short hair, and they're very kind. That's nice. Let's get one more. For some of you, workout, we've got muscular. So it could be that they're working out at the moment, building the muscles. But most importantly, I can see also they're easygoing, they're kind and very thoughtful. So that's what I see in terms of maybe their looks. For some of you that have short hair. And then finally, we'll get some letters. So it could be their initials. Take whatever resonates with you, and then we'll see if there's any letters or words we can make up. Pile number 2. So we got POEKURWASLLNSJ. Right. See if you can make a word. So we got wear. They're very conscious of what they wear, so obviously that links into the swag, has swag, what we saw there. They are someone that is conscious of their attire and what they look like. Let's see, what else do we get? We got tear, not sure. So we kind of got kind as well, without the I. I know that's not how you spell jealous, but that's what I'm getting. There's someone, obviously, do you remember we said that we saw the cards with the 5 of Wands, where people could be fighting for your attention, so that could make them a little bit jealous, but I would say not in a toxic way, but in a way that they need to maybe up their game or make sure that they make their feelings clear or their intentions clear with you pretty soon from meeting you. And then I don't know if we've got any names. I mean, I'm not good with names, to be honest, so Yeah, they're very, I would say, yeah, very kind, very considerate. But yeah, if you see any other words, my pile number 2, then obviously it's intended for you. So please do take it as part of your reading.